Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will talk about the cultural shock that I experienced while I was living and studying in Russia. I was doing my bachelor and master degree in Russia, and it was approximately 6 years. So in this video I will share my experience of being in Russia and what surprised me, what shocked me, and how I survived there. So if you are considering to go to Russia, to visit the country, or to study this video will be interesting for you. The first thing is weather. Of course, weather conditions in Russia, and everyone knows that it's quite cold there, but what surprised me is not the weather itself, but the fact that outside it's always cold, but inside it's always very hot. What I mean here that whatever you have inside buildings, hospitals, underground buses, all inside facilities are very hot. They use state heating, and it's quite hot there, and it's quite cheap to have a warm house. For example, I was living in a dorm, and if it could be minus 25 outside, but in my dormitory room it was so hot that I could use only one t-shirt. It's interesting because if you compare it with any European countries, most of them that I visited, I would say it is cold inside the buildings. If it is cold outside, it's cold inside. So this fact was interesting for me. Even in my country, if it is snowy, of course it's cold in the house. The second thing is about cleanliness. I was living in Moscow for 6 years, and it is a very, very big city, and it's one of the biggest cities in the world. But notwithstanding the size of it, it was quite clean. It was very, very clean city, and you can't see trash anywhere. When I was studying, it was something normal for me because it should be clean. So what other options exist, right? But when I moved to Europe, especially when I was living again in Paris, I had a very different experience where you could find trash just outside the flats, or just in the middle of the square or something. The third thing is this is also part of my culture, but not so much, because my country is quite warm and quite hot. We drink a lot of tea, but in Russia, for example, they never drink cold drinks during the winter. So I was visiting Norway several times, and it was interesting to see that it was super cold, it was snowing, but I couldn't order a cup of tea in that cold. Everywhere I was going to get the tea, they said we don't have warm water. So it is very, very interesting thing. So, but in Russia, they never drink cold water during winter, and they always, when they eat sweets, they always eat them and drink warm tea with that. So for me, I also get used to it. I never eat sweets without warm tea. So yeah, this was very, very exciting things for me. The fourth thing is, maybe you have heard about it, that Russian people, in general, the Russians, they don't smile. Again, when I moved there for the first time, it was my first experience abroad. It was normal for me that people don't smile at all. In the streets, at the university, nowhere. They don't smile at you. But when I moved to Europe, I saw very different things. Because here, for example, if you are in the street and you just have a look at someone, your eyes meet, you will smile at each other. But in Russia it's not the case. They always very serious, they always very I would say reserved, but at the same time they can be sometimes very rude also, and you can experience it starting from the airport. If you ask about something at the airport, I don't know, the people who are working there, they can be quite rude, saying that this is there and this is here, and just they are answering somehow, just saying that just leave us alone, what's going on. I don't know why is it like that. I was thinking it's because of the weather, first of all, because there is very little amount of sun in general, and Moscow again is very big, and it takes a lot of time to go from one side of the Moscow city to another side. So sometimes you can spend, I don't know, 2 hours in public transport to get from home to work. This harsh reality, of course, can influence your mood during the day, and by time living there year by year, you will become a person who doesn't pay attention to what's going around, and whether someone looking at you, or whether you need to smile back or whatever. Even if they can be rude, they can seem very reserved. They are open and talkative people if you get to know them. I have a lot of Russian friends, and when you get closer to them, they are very funny, they are very supportive, they are very open minded. But again, I'm talking mostly about my experience in Moscow. In other regions of Russia, it can be, of course, different. The last thing is about grooming and taking care of yourself. It's very important. It's mostly about Russian women, and maybe you have heard that they are very beautiful, and they are known for that in the world. So they grooming, putting makeup, making hair, making nails, I don't know, wearing high heels. They are very, very important things for Russian women. And if you, for example, I was at university at that time, and for me, university was the place you go to study. But everyone there, like almost all the girls, wore with high heels, and they had hairstyle, they had their makeup and their nails done, and like they were ready for a party, I would say. So it was strange for me, because of course in my country, in my culture, it's also like that you put makeup, for example, but you don't groom yourself so much. But for Russian women, it's very important. It surprised me. On the one hand, it's very good because you take care of yourself, you look pretty, and maybe in some cases you look more confident. But on the other hand, it takes a lot of time to do all of this. It's very time-consuming process, and I don't know, maybe in order to get ready by 8 o'clock, you have to get up at 5 or 6 in the morning. So for me, instead of doing that, I would just, I don't know, spend time on something that is more important for me. I don't know, reading books or watching something useful. I would rather invest my time in something that have in long term some returns, I would say. Yes, this was approximately the main things that I still remember about Russian people and Russia. So I hope this type of video is interesting for you, and let me know in the comments, of course, what do you think, whether have you ever been to Russia, and are you planning to go there, and what was your experience there. See you in my next videos.